The investigator can't believe their eyes. The months of searching, the hours spent scouring through CCTV footage, and the days of combing the woods for any clue as to where the missing woman was. The police have long since given up on the case when it lands on the PI's desk, their reputation for finding missing persons having reached the ears of a grieving father. The man's wife vanishes on the same day their daughter is born. His story is full of things that don't add up, like his wife mentioning their daughter, despite having only just been delivered, spoke in an adult's voice before the husband entered the room. It all sounds crazy, as does the notion that someone could just walk out of the hospital and off into the woods after hours of painful labor. But little does the investigator know, this search is only set to get stranger. The woods are meant to be desolate, utterly devoid of human life, save for the occasional hiker. Yet, right in front of them stands a building that shouldn't be there. It contrasts heavily with the foreboding dark and towering trees, all garish pink and oversized lollipops in the front yard. It's real, though. That much is clear as the investigator steps closer and closer until they're walking inside. It's a candy store. The shelves are filled with rows and rows of open containers with every variety of sweet treats on display. If this wasn't so strange, it would almost make the investigator hungry. But any appetite quickly exits their body in an instant when their flashlight beam falls over a body, lying on the store floor under a pile of those gummy strawberries that get stuck to the roof of your mouth and lodged in your teeth when you chew them. The investigator doesn't even need to uncover the corpse to know they've found who they're looking for. The gown from the local hospital is enough to tell them. Suddenly, something moves behind the counter of the store, and the investigator's light quickly jumps over the source of it, causing them to yell at the appearance of a clown in the torchlight.
Well, hi there, hon. Welcome to Millie's Candy Shop.
The SCP Foundation has long been aware of an anomalous phenomenon that seems to affect the population in the state of Rhode Island. Seemingly at random, this inexplicable event will occur within newborn infants, regardless of where in the state delivery takes place. So far, the Foundation has been unable to determine a causality or even a common pattern among the affected births. They don't take place at one specific hospital, nor are they more likely to occur within close proximity to any determinable point of origin. Yet, frighteningly, any baby born in Rhode Island can potentially, without any early indicators to forewarn parents, suddenly start speaking in an adult, masculine-sounding voice. These events are classified under the designation of SCP-5986. Naturally, hearing a newly born child suddenly speaking moments after delivery can be frightening for expectant parents. Early reports of the incidents were dismissed by certain members of Foundation staff as being stress-induced auditory hallucinations experienced by new mothers as a result of intense labor. However, this theory was quickly disproven both by the specificity of the newborn speech patterns and the fact that the adult voice was heard by not just mothers post-labor, but spouses and hospital staff alike. Foundation researchers that ascribed to and advocated for the dismissive stress voices theory were sent to a mandatory workplace conduct and sexism sensitivity seminar and reassigned as a result. Given the abrupt and unpredictable occurrences of SCP-5986 events, the Foundation has seen fit to covertly station a number of its agents within maternity wards and centers throughout the state of Rhode Island. These operatives are embedded within the ranks of medical staff with the goal of administering amnestics to any civilians, be they parents, midwives, or other hospital workers, who bear witness to an SCP-5986 event. In order to prevent widespread knowledge of SCP-5986 or any panic that may occur should information reach the public, covert Foundation agents are authorized to use their cover story as medical staff in order to ensure any witnesses to an SCP-5986 event receive an appropriate dosage of amnestics in order to wipe their memories of the incident. Foundation agents posing as maternity ward staff have also gathered information about the state of the affected infants after an SCP-5986 event takes place. Through observing medical records and the results of the standard tests performed by doctors after birth, the SCP Foundation has determined that newborn children affected by SCP-5986 suffer no residual side effects after the initial incident. By every observable measure, both medical and anomalous, they are unharmed and completely healthy. While at present none of the affected newborns have grown to adulthood, their medical records are being kept on file by the Foundation, with automated alerts set up should any of them be admitted to hospital with potentially anomalous symptoms in the future. While they can affect any child born in Rhode Island seemingly at random, the only known consistency of SCP-5986 events themselves is that they all follow the exact same sequence. Regardless of the gender assigned at the birth of the affected newborn, they will still produce the exact same masculine-sounding adult voice. Foundation audio engineering experts have conducted a thorough analysis of recordings of this voice, some even spending months poring over waveforms in order to try and match the exact inflection, tone, and accent to any other known recording. At present, the Foundation has been unable to determine who the voice belongs to. Theories have ranged widely, with some audio engineers speculating that whoever the original owner of the voice is, they must have spent the entirety of their life avoiding any form of audio recording device, leading to a lack of potential matches. Other specialists in the field of anomalous entities have expressed the belief that the voice heard during SCP-5986 events is being projected physically through newborns and isn't the actual speaking voice of another human being. All anyone can agree on, however, is that the voice uses no digital alteration, nor is it generated by artificial intelligence. However it is reaching the newborn children of Rhode Island, there is seemingly no electronic component to the voice, not being broadcast via radio waves or even using the internet. Another hurdle presented to those trying to determine the voice's origin is the lack of any other sound bites. All the Foundation has access to are the recordings from SCP-5986 incidents, and these all follow the same transcript, with little to no variation. The spoken words themselves always take the exact same form as well, that of an advertisement which is spoken aloud by newborns as follows.
What's up, parents? Hey, did you know that children have 3 times as many taste buds as you old folks? It's crazy. That's why you should take me down to Millie's candy shop so I can eat plenty of delicious, sweet goodness. And don't worry about packing on extra weight or getting cavities, as all of Millie's candy is 0 calorie with no sugar. That's right, 0 calories and no sugar. Maybe you parents will even want in on some of this action, huh? We'll see you there.
Following delivering this ad copy, the affected newborn will then wink and lose consciousness, signaling the conclusion of an SCP-5986 event. Naturally, as well as trying to determine the source of the voice and any potential harm SCP-5986 does to the children it affects, the SCP Foundation was also eager to ascertain the location of the aforementioned business, Millie's Candy Shop. An organized effort was carried out by Foundation web crawlers to scour the internet for any mention of a confectionery store operating in Rhode Island under the aforementioned name. There were 0 results found. Agents were dispatched to conduct interviews with members of the public in the area under the cover story of a marketing questionnaire. Unanimously, residents of Rhode Island all consistently stated that they've never heard of or visited anywhere called Millie's Candy Shop. Another theory started gaining traction among Foundation researchers observing the situation. What if the advertisement originated from a different point in time? Detractors argued that the language and vernacular used were too close to modern-day spoken English for the message to have been somehow anomalously transmitted from the past. Still, determined to find a definitive answer, the Foundation requisitioned the entire documented history of Rhode Island, gathering up city charters that dated back to the very formation of the state itself. There was no written record of a Millie's Candy Shop having ever existed anywhere. The Foundation had been, thus far, unable to determine where the message heard during SCP-5986 was coming from. That is, until a web crawler, who had been tirelessly trawling through swathes of online data, found one of the first and only references to Millie's Candy Store anywhere on the internet. The source was an amateur blog written by Leah Hampton. Back on the 11th of March 2020, Leah Hampton had been assisting her wife Sarah during labor. Leah worked alongside Paula Gallagher, a midwife from the local hospital, and was able to successfully deliver the couple's son, Stein. Upon delivery, like several other Rhode Island newborns, Stein underwent an SCP-5986 incident. However, there existed no record of this in the Foundation's accounts of known occurrences of the anomaly. Normally, a name associated with an SCP-5986 event would have been immediately flagged by the Foundation's automated system, given that they kept a log of all the SCP-5986 incidents. However, because the Hampton's son was delivered during an at-home birth, any record of the event was missed, and as a result, The three witnesses, Leah and Sarah Hampton and their assisting midwife, Paula Gallagher, did not receive subsequent amnestic treatment. As a result of this, Leah was able to document her experience of an SCP-5986 publicly on her blog titled Rhode Island. Although, owing to its low readership, the Foundation was able to contain the spread of this information once it had removed the website and successfully administered amnestics to the Hampton family, Ms. Gallagher, and a handful of people who owned computers that had accessed the Rhode Island domain through their browsers. However, one crucial piece of information that led to the Foundation archiving a copy of Leah's blog post about the incident was the fact that her newborn son's SCP-5986 event differed slightly from the standard transcript that the Foundation had recorded before. This one came with directions to reach the elusive Millie's candy shop. The post itself opens by detailing what happened to Leah and Sarah Hampton directly after the birth of their son, Stein, having delivered the baby in the comfort of their own home. Leah even attributes the commenters on a previous blog post for recommending Paula Gallagher to be their at-home midwife. Once Sarah, Leah's wife, held Stein for the first time, the SCP-5986 incident was triggered. Leah recalls listening to her newborn son speaking in a deep voice, providing the location of Millie's candy store. Eager to capture her son's first words, Leah copied the directions down verbatim, although the SCP Foundation has been unable to find anything by following the written copy of these directions. Having copied down the directions, Leah kissed Sarah and swiftly exited their home. In the post itself, she acknowledges how people might perceive her leaving her wife and child only moments after Stein was born, and seems fully cognizant of the absurdity of her actions. Her written justification for her sudden departure seemed to stem from some uncontrollable compulsion to try the advertised zero-calorie candy for herself. Leah also exhibited a lack of ambivalence towards whoever Millie was, and instead seemed assured that the anomalous confectionery shop owner was reputable, despite her apparent preferred method of broadcasting advertisements through newborn infants. Following the directions she had noted down, Leah arrived at what she described as a cute, pink house situated in a nearby forest. Outside was a front garden. Rather than the type of flora commonly grown out front at a suburban home, this area was instead populated by oversized lollipops that seemed initially to have been stuck into the soil. Entering the candy shop itself, the interior and decor were exactly what Leah expected from a confectionery store, all the garish bright colors that evoked the kind of hyperactivity sweets caused. But Millie's had boasted all the good parts about candy without the high sugar content and all its risks like cavities. It all sounded too good to be true, but yet something still compelled Leah to venture into the store and find out firsthand. According to the archived post taken from Rhode Island before the blog's deletion, upon entering the store, Leah was quickly met with the only other occupant, that being Millie herself. Her description likened her to a circus clown on the count of wearing similar face paint. However, Leah Hampton's retelling of events includes no photographed evidence of Millie's appearance that the Foundation could potentially use to track her. Some researchers have pointed out that, even if there were photos, certain configurations of makeup are known to confuse facial recognition software, meaning that it would likely be impossible to accurately identify Millie. Whoever, or indeed whatever she was, the entity introduced itself as Millie and asked Leah what she wanted from the shop. Immediately, Leah recalled the advertisement's promises of zero-calorie candy, but was still unconvinced such a thing could exist. When asking Millie about it, the anomalous store's owner explained that everything stocked in her shop had no calories whatsoever, which is impossible through any known confectionery production methods, even using lower-calorie sugar alternatives. When quizzed on how exactly she was able to create candy without any calories, and that didn't contain high enough levels of sugar to cause cavities, Millie stated that her products were homegrown in her garden. Asking how she was able to grow candy, the anomalous store owner simply answered that she did so using candy seeds. The SCP Foundation has consulted numerous experts in biology, particularly in the field of botany, and all of their findings concur that there is no such thing as candy seeds, nor is it possible to grow candy in the way that plants are grown. It is worth noting that at no point throughout their exchange does Leah Hampton express any concern for how Millie used her newborn son Stein to broadcast her advertisements. At least as far as their conversation is recalled in the blog post, there is no mention of Sarah or Stein. Instead, Leah remains solely focused on the singular topic of discussion at hand, candy. However, Foundation behavioral analysts believe that this hyperfixation on Millie's candy was likely triggered through anomalous means during the SCP-5986 incident witnessed by the Hamptons, in much the same way that Leah suffered an instant compulsion to seek out Millie's candy shop after hearing details of its location. Researchers are currently still uncertain, however, as to why the same compulsions weren't exhibited by Sarah Hampton and Paula Gallagher, who were also present to witness the SCP-5986 event involving the newborn Stein. Although many researchers have expressed their relief that this wasn't the case, as had all three witnesses been compelled to find Millie's candy shop, this would have resulted in a newly delivered infant being left completely isolated without the presence of an adult, only moments after being born. During the next part of their exchange, possibly still under some kind of mesmeric or cognitohazardous anomalous influence, Leah Hampton requested a sample of the advertised zero-calorie candy. She was presented with a small pack of gummy bears by Millie and instructed to give them a taste test. Noting that these were her favorite type of candy, Leah obliged and opened the packet. She retained at least some level of awareness of the laws of physics in spite of her current situation, as evidenced by her reaction to what happened next. The candy reportedly began floating weightlessly out of Leah's hand. Even when she tried intentionally dropping them, gravity simply did not act on the gummy bears, and they remained suspended in the air. Millie chimed in to offer the explanation that her products still naturally follow the digestive tract when eaten and pose no risk of being stuck inside the body during or after consumption. Without hesitating, Leah then quickly ate the anomalous confectionery and was instantly enamored with them. She then proceeded to buy several large boxes of the candy, justifying the bulk purchase with how reasonably they were priced and as a means to fulfill Sarah's post-pregnancy cravings. It is unclear how many boxes Leah purchased or how. The SCP Foundation has been, as of yet, unable to recover the anomalous candy despite making several sweeps of the Hampton residence. It is entirely possible that Leah Hampton consumed all of the gummy bears she bought, and her health is being monitored by Foundation agents embedded in the local area for any adverse anomalous side effects. An examination of her financial records does show an unusual charge made to her bank account. However, no amount or recipient account is listed. Further investigation by Foundation computer experts has been unsuccessful in tracing this transaction to any business account anywhere in the world. Having purchased a large supply of anomalous candy, the store and its owner simultaneously vanished, leaving Leah standing alone in the woods, carrying her boxes of gummy bears. In her blog post later, she emphasized how good the candy she had eaten was and encouraged her readers, the Y-landers, to seek out Millie's candy shop for themselves. Having successfully wiped the post to Rhode Island from the internet, the SCP Foundation's agents were able to make contact with the Hampton family and administer them with amnestics. Following the directions that Leah had used to locate Millie's candy shop, agents were unable to uncover anything of note, despite several days spent scouring the nearby forest where the anomalous store had manifested. Millie's candy shop itself has been designated as SCP-5986-1, and investigation into the exact whereabouts and anomalous transportation of the storefront is still ongoing. No other recorded instances of SCP-5986 events have included locational information, although the Foundation has advised its agents embedded inside Rhode Island maternity centers to advertise their services for home births. The working theory among some researchers was that this was the key determining factor in why the Hamptons received directions for locating SCP-5986-1, and that the store only manifests once directions have been given. The hope is that recreating the same circumstances will offer a chance for the SCP Foundation to actually locate Millie's candy shop and intervene with its anomalous operations. That would have been the case had it not been for another incident that took place on May 23, 2020. Reports came in from a Foundation agent stationed at a post office in Hope, Rhode Island, who had discovered that hundreds of letters had suddenly manifested within a postbox they'd been in the process of emptying at the time. Further inspection revealed that the letters were all addressed to parents of children that had experienced an SCP-5986 event. Each was identical and read as follows: "Sad news, pals. Millie's candy shop is closing. That's right, now you'll have to settle for candy with calories. Isn't that just disgusting? I'd love to stay open and continue sating your cravings with my zero-sugar treats, but candy shops need business, and I simply wasn't getting any, despite all of my top-notch advertising. Perhaps it's because someone scared all my customers away. Have fun making your teeth rot, And remember, dentists are always watching. These letters were signed, Your Dearest Ex-Candy Maker, Millie. Since this incident, the Foundation has received no reports of SCP-5986 incidents from any of its agents stationed in Rhode Island. This has led the phenomenon to be considered for reclassification to neutralized. Check out the DrBob Patreon and become a junior researcher today. Now go and watch another entry from the files of DrBob, like SCP-839, Candied Worms.